Good evening, viewers. It's a very hard thing to say when you're just coming from a new, old year into a new year. So we are so delighted. Elkom TV, we are here live in Masindi, the heart of Masindi, made until now. Thank you so much. With me in the studios, I have my guest. She's called Prudence Lukaya.
Prudence Lukoye.
Lukoye, yes. Omwana we Mbale.
Yes, all the way from Mbale.
Mbale we muli.
Actually, not Mbale, all the way from Namisindwa district, through Manafa, to Mbale, and now to Masindi.
So we don't go there. So yeah, and also we educate our viewers wherever you are, in Uganda, in diaspora, and we believe that whatever we are going to teach you or to share with you is going to be vital for your life and for your. We are going to be talking about what easement is. We shall also be talking about the types of easements we have, the purposes of the easement, and also how an easement can you also be able to know how you can create one. Sometimes people have land and end up fighting each other.
True.
But when you look back or when you go on locus, you find probably the owner of the land is on
or
the
they
land.
sell to you land, and there is no way to access your land. And of course, someone would think, okay, now you have sold to me this land. Do you want me to just jump onto my land? Or do you want me to fly into my land? You understand?
I do this.
So when we talk about easements, this is the area that covers such issues. Issues of, or maybe I want to access a nearby hospital, you see? But then the road to the hospital is around 1,000 miles, you understand? And yet there would be a shortcut through your land, which is maybe just 1 kilometer or just, 10 miles to the facility that I need.
I get you.
Yeah.
Maybe before we go ahead, now the topic is so interesting. It seemed to be like a new thing to be talked about, whereas these are the daily facts that are affecting our people.
Sure.
Could you kindly help our viewers to understand what an easement is?
Okay, simply to put it, because I don't want to speak our English,
Yes.
anybody else
Not
can understand.
English.
Not Semakade. No, the English of, of Mzee Seremos. Yes, where you're going to tell Mzee Seremos, you see Mzee, an easement is this, and it's like, what do you mean easement? And then you have to break it down.
Someone may tell you, an easement, is it going outside and is yourself?
They may even think an easement is something. You don't joke with terms. The facility, and there is no way they can access this facility.
Maybe
you understand? But there is a shortcut. In simple terms, we can say an easement is a shortcut. That is one thing. In another way, you can say a way to somewhere. What do I mean? You want to access a place, but it is in through someone else's land, in the land that you are not owning. So it is upon the landowner now to give you permission. And that is why when we talk about an easement, there must be two parties. We must have the servant. The servant, meaning you are being served. I don't want to call you a servant. No, you are not a servant, but you are a servant, someone that is benefiting from the land.
Right.
Very good. Your benefit.
Could I be right if, for example, if I bring it in an example, let me say we are neighbors. And being neighbors, my children, we have a perimeter wall, and my children are playing. And the ball, my children will access the ball without getting...
The word sounds. That
I think this one in a simple technical way is, to me, it looks like an alibi to avoid criminal trespass.
Not
Why
really.
I'm saying so is because if it happened that you entered through the land of somebody or forcefully and create your own access without permission, that would be either in criminal or civil, to be a trespass, a tort, right? Now, you getting a permission to access a way or to access yourself through somebody's perimeter of land is what we are calling an easement, which is now literally is avoiding, is curing the offense that you would have committed, but now you have done it in a rightful way of asking permission.
Yes, it is actually a permission, just
Yes.
like you have stated it. And just like in my statement as I was starting, I told you we can call it a shortcut. Why I am calling it a shortcut is because you're avoiding very many things that would have come along the action that you are taking without permission.
Yeah, before we go, we will skip to another thing. I want you to help me tell my viewers outside there the importance of an easement in law.
The importance organizations,
Yes.
it will go to, let's say, governmental organizations. It may also include institutions.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I told you, the main importance of an easement is to grant you permission to use someone's land without being held on the wrong side
Oh, yes.
of the law. That is why we said that there must be two people involved in the creation of an easement. Yeah. So yeah,
Access.
you are granted access to where you want to go. You understand? Through another person's land. Secondly, it also has an economic value, by the way. An easement has an economic value. Take an example. Let's say Uganda National Roads Authority wants to access a particular land. Understand?
Yes.
So these people are just not going to use my land just like that. You understand? There is what we call compensation.
Oh, yes.
They will have to take the value and say, okay, we have taken Prudence's purpose and option. I think we'll have to compensate them. So they will have to give me money.
Now, that will brings me back to a question. Is it a constitutional right?
It is a right. It is a right. It is a right. That is why when we are talking about easements, there are actually three types of easements.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And so the first one is an express easement. Easement, an express one means you and I are agreeing to get to have this easement created because you don't want to pull ropes with me. You understand? Or I don't want to pull ropes with you. That is why I am going to come to you and tell you, you see, Brian, I think I need some assistance. You understand? And with this assistance, you and I have to agree with each other such that maybe you give me part of your land. Either, of course, there would be conditions. It could be conditional, monetary terms, or without necessarily paying some monetary value. So
Or it could be maybe a barter trade.
whatever it could be.
You are allowed to access this part, and
Yes.
then I give you another piece of land.
Yes. Now that is how you're going to create this easement. You're going to come up with a document and say, okay, I have talked to Brian, who is my neighbor, and we have agreed that this is how I will be accessing my land.
Oh.
So you create an easement, which will be called an express easement. Reason being, you have agreed with Emma, and you have seen the necessity of creating this
An
easement. Yes.
So, do you mean to say, in your own statement, that is it express?
Yeah, express.
Express easement can be passed on to another person in case the two parties are no longer living? can it be in existence after you people maybe pass on?
Well, when we are talking about easements, I don't think we are talking about parties in particular. I don't think we are talking about parties in particular, because we have examples of things like the implied, like the implied one, like I was telling you about, you know, like whoever takes on the responsibility of that land would benefit from this. I am allowing only Prudence to pass through the land, and I cannot allow her children or her husband to go through this land.
Oh, yes.
You understand? So all these things are entailed in that agreement, in that document that you people are going to, you know,
so
to
meaning that even
write.
after you die, whoever comes after you, so long as in their lineage,
Yes.
you can still use the
Yes,
the
whether
right.
they are in the lineage or they are not. I'll give you an example of accessing.
Okay. Dear viewers, this is What Law. We're discussing a topic called easement on land. We are going to go for a short commercial break of our bosses to make some money. We shall be shortly back. Thank you. Now we want to go into an issue and into an area where how someone can create an easement. But before we start, I want to remind our viewers, please, you can send in your questions and we shall be able to take them on and answer them to your satisfaction. Back to our sister Prudence, Council Prudence.
Yes.
She works with Lubega and Babu and Company Advocates, the legal aid clinic thing. Now she's independent. She's working on a law firm.
Okay, legal aid was my pathway. Like, I don't deny, legal aid is my home.
First step.
Yeah, it was my home, and even up to now, I still acknowledge having gone through legal aid, though currently I am not working under legal aid. You find me at Azinduka building in town.
Oh, okay.
That is Lubega and Babu Company Advocates.
All right.
Yes.
So now, yes.
Just like I told you before, when we are talking about an easement, we are talking about having two people benefit from from the easement, isn't it?
Mm.
So that means that we will have an agreement. Yes, these two people are going to agree, and they should all have land. Actually, they should all have land. You cannot start saying, you see now, or even if there is no land, but there must be an interest that we are going to do to such and such a place. For example, feel you need to access it, so and initiate discussions with
The owner of the land.
Very good.
Please.
Yes. Then on the what? Maybe the community. That means the community will have to get representatives, because you cannot have everybody sign on the document. You understand?
Oh yes, I get you.
So when they all come up and sign with that ownership, and then maybe the national IDs where possible. Yes, things like that.
So that means it's very simple to create an easement.
It is as simple as taking water.
Why do you think our people are still fighting over this?
Perish. For lack of what?
No, lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. So if you do not know that you have a right or you have an interest that you must explore or you must benefit from, then definitely you are going to do what? You're going to suffer. Just like an example of bail. Don't you know that bail is a constitutional right?
I know.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
And then they'll keep singing rule of law, but they don't know that there are some rights that are not yet utilized. You understand? So because you do not have the knowledge of something, you are going to lose out on some of the interest or rights. And actually, I just want to applaud and I think it is a good initiative. The community, the people of Masindi are no longer green, actually international. You understand?
Yeah.
And everybody is even viewing us, even online, and because YouTube is you understand?
Oh, yes.
So our people are perishing. Our people are struggling, fighting, pulling ropes here and there. Actually, I would like to implore to all my fellow people, my fellow lawyers, Ugandans, the learned friends, and do pro bono services, just teach them what they need to understand, because there are basics. You see, for us, when you will come. So just like when you told me we are going to discuss easements, and my mind is like, okay, now easements. You see, I'm wondering who does not know about easements. They don't know these things. So now let's go down to the roots community, and teach people. Tell these people what they need to know. And actually, we'll just erase. They will not have any more fights. Oh, yes. And Madam Prudence, I want to, our viewers, please kindly prepare your question. Yeah. If we're in the area you have not understood, we shall be able to answer you. They can actually keep sending them. You keep sending your questions. So when time is coming, when we shall give a time, specify a time for Q&A. And I believe we shall satisfy you, and you will know what you didn't know, or you add on what you knew. Madam Prudence, is there a procedure started on? And of course, now being that we are dealing with land, then you have to go. The time you said land is not vegetables. Land is anybody that wants to buy land. Okay. You see how you'll go to Mama Joshua's Mudala in the market, and then you tell her, Mama Joshua, I want tomatoes for 1,000. And then Mama Joshua will say, okay, let me give you tomatoes. And then Mama Joshua will just, measure for you tomatoes and give you. You go. And then you go to another person. You say, hey, Mama Kaba, give me matoke. They give you matoke. No, when you are buying land, you must first find out what exactly are you buying. Okay. Who is the owner of this land? Okay, what else do I need to know? So, being that we are dealing with land, and land is a very sensitive issue. Oh, yes, here in Uganda. Yes, land is a very sensitive issue. The RTA, the RTA, what we call the Registration of Titles Act, and then the Land Act actually itself. You understand? Because it is even it is a constitutional, to own property. Yeah, that means if it is my right to own property, then you don't have a right to just come and start using my property. You understand? So, what is that? What do I have to do
to register my
Yes.
if you have one, you can download. If you don't have, you can download it online.
No, if they have one, they can read for us.
But if you don't have, you can go on Yuli and download it, and all these laws are there for you to access.
So kindly just read for us. Just read for
Section
us
60.
Section 6.
Wherever any certificate of title or any duplicate registered or issued under any of the provisions or otherwise under the operation of this act contains any statement to the effect that the person named in the certificate is entitled to any easement specified in the that he or she is so entitled.
Yes. Now, to just summarize what we have read in Section 60 of the Registration of Titles Act, just like I was telling you, what first thing we need to get is the agreement between these parties and to the land commission.
Land
that
tribunal.
is the lands, isn't it? And I'm sure all districts have the lands.
Land
The
office.
land's office, you understand? Yeah, so you submit these documents to land office with all proof that actually there is this land existing, to survey this land and give us a surveyor's report. That is also going to be submitted to the IDs, and then these documents must be verified to confirm that actually if you have submitted the land title, is it valid? Is it authentic? You understand?
Oh,
So
yes.
because we are, like we told you, that land, many people are getting fake titles. You understand?
Oh,
So
yes.
to avoid all these issues of, you see, now I have a title that is not, and find out who the owner of this land is. It is, you just go online. It is as simple as typing it in your own smartphone, and you'll get these details.
So long as you have some money on mobile money
Very
to
good.
pay
No,
for such fee.
not really of note. So you, whatever money it is, but of course it is not much money, but you can verify the title that you have to confirm if it is really an authentic one. So that is why when you submit all these documents, we need to find out, okay, is this document authentic? Okay, you have submitted that you are the owner of this land. Are you? You understand? So after of that easement, and maybe to an easement was created.
That as you
Yeah.
now, my one last question to you. Supposing the person you want to create an access or an easement is so stubborn, Yagamba, he cannot allow any Mugwira to use his land or pass through his land.
True.
He's fearing Marogo. So, as me as an individual who feel that this access is vital, either for transportation of my goods or for access of the road or something very important, because we know an easement, it must be a necessity, right?
True.
So, supposing that person has a
This person can file a suit. You can, of course, just like any other lawsuit or any other issue that you're having in, between parties, you could maybe start with, you can start with maybe talking about it at community level, because that is what we usually see people doing at community level. Maybe you talk to the LC, you explain to them what is not happening. You see this person, I have this land and they are not letting me use the land. You understand?
Yes.
And you see if you can actually settle it amicably. And if they refuse, and I think that is your major
my major point.
Yes. How you institute a suit, you just, of course, so you must make sure, just like I told you, you must make sure there is a need. You understand? And that it is necessary. For you to have an easement through someone's land, there must be no other alternative. You understand?
Oh, yes.
Or that the other alternative is not practical. You understand? So, if the other alternative is possible or practically, possible, then that means you may not benefit from this lawsuit. So you must first of all, you must make sure you have no other alternative, and that the other alternative that could maybe be existing is not practical.
That means you have exhausted all the...
Very good. And you have also tried all possible means. You have talked to this person,
and has failed to
and they
comply.
have refused. And you must also be ready to foot all
The
the
costs.
expenses or what we call costs. But of course, sometimes we don't want to use the legal terminologies because our people down there may not understand it. But the issue is you must be ready
To
foot all the expenses as an
Okay.
individual, because it is you that wants to benefit from this.
It's you
land.
want to exercise your
Very
rights.
good.
Okay. So, my dear, this brings me to a point to know that a right is expensive, a right is earned. My dear brothers and sisters, wherever you're outside there's no right that comes no silver. About fighting in a very no,
I find you see you're in your land, and then I tell you, Brian,
Now,
you refuse to give me an easement.
ojja kundaba.
Nazingako emikono n'akukwatamu.
Supposing now this is something I'm looking at a layman who doesn't want to go to court, but he feels however this person has refused. My opinion, you can persuade that person, the owner of the land, to buy off your right.
True.
Brothers and sisters, wherever you are, try to persuade. I was in Kampala, and somebody wanted to use the parking yard, but the moment you create a road, I'm not having my parking yard here. So buy off my portion, and I go and for you remain with your way. So if you have enough money, and somebody has established and you don't want to go to court, please, you can either go to court and court will allow you to get access by force or by legal means. You get it? Or you can buy off your right by telling this person, let me buy off the part I want to use to access.
Yes, that is why I was telling you that for you now to run to court, it means you have exhausted all other remedies. You have offered to this person that actually you can buy off their land. You understand?
Yes.
You can buy off their land such that you don't have to, keep struggling.
Okay.
Keep struggling to access
Your own place.
Very good.
Now, members, viewers, wherever you are in Uganda, in diaspora, we are so grateful for your time that you really shed off on your business. 2025, expect a lot. Expect to get more topics on what law. Next week, we shall also be here on the same time on Monday from 4 to 5. And we are going to keep hosting very many lawyers. One day, I believe, shall host the Minister Sam Mayanja. I know where Sam Mayanja you are, Senior Counsel. I salute you, and I know one day we shall host you here to be taught. And one time, Honorable Mayanja told me his major is to teach Ugandans on how they can keep away from fighting and courts on issues of land.
And this is a platform, actually.
And this is a very good platform
Platform
these people can learn.
True.
And I believe by God's grace, we shall be in the future having a TV that goes on air through DSTV. Wherever you are, if you have a question, this is your time, Q&A. If there are any question that's running behind, let us know so that we'll be able to answer this question before we leave. Our time is really running out. But we are so happy. She was by before me. Senior Counsel Prudence Lukaya. Is it Lukaya?
My name is Prudence.
Lukoye.
Yes.
Munasonywa. Ngezaako kuliyiga.
The issues are going to come for you, and I just don't know what you're going to tell them.
They will not circumcise me, I'm done. Yes?
You need a second one.
I need a second one. So, what I'm telling you, viewers, next week we are going to have a very hot topic. I wanted us to talk about condominium, because condominium looks to be a very important and very new thing to the
People
community.
don't know it actually.
People don't know
They
it.
don't even know about
And
it.
it's a very good commercial business.
Very good, very good. Very good investment.
You must
building, you understand?
Okay.
And at Azinduka, you are owning you are owning only the first room. That is what you are owning.
Dear viewers, we are going to get back. We are going for a commercial break. Please stay tuned. And when you come back, this same story, we are going to continue with it. Shalom. Yes, we'll be back from the commercial break. This is Elkom TV once again on the program What Law. Today we have been discussing and we're still discussing about easements on land.
Sure.
Very many points that we have given to you, starting from right of the definition it is created,
Sure.
and also how you can effect your easement, your right of access through court in case you try it in a mediation and it fails. Okay? So all those means if you're the person whom you want, the dominant, when he refuses or she refuses, and the mediation, the eldest one has failed, the Korea committee to handle that in a mediation, then you can come to court. You can seek any lawyer, you can seek me, you can find me, you can look for me, you can look for Prudence or any lawyer
You'll
in
find
town,
me at Azinduka seated there waiting
for you, so that we institute a civil suit against that person.
True.
And that person will be served, come to court and give him reason. If his reason is not giving court a reason why they should deny this person access, then court will go ahead and grant an order for an access of
against
road
them.
against you, the owner of the land. And we will go ahead the same order to if the land is titled, to order the register of titles to register an easement on your same land and must reflect on the title. So munange,
And apart from just reflecting on the title, you must have a certificate
a certificate of title
that shows that actually you have registered an easement on this land. And maybe not to forget, in case the conditions require that maybe the certificate be requirement for renewal, then after getting the certificate, all you have to do is to notify the parties. There is something important that I wanted to let you know, our viewers, that when we talk about easements, sometimes I will give this example because it is what I was given when they were teaching us, you know. They gave us an example of the community well. This is land. So now this is one of the examples where an easement will work, and it will involve an individual vis-a-vis the community, whatever facility it is. Could be, maybe it is not a community well, it could be a health facility, it could be,
or
you know,
ground.
anything. You understand? However, where the service ceases to excel and this well no longer supplies or no longer expired, where there was no alternative, but then there are now many other alternatives that have been created, or taps that have been, you see, you understand, have been maybe installed. That means that the purpose, that, you know, the importance, the necessity has reduced. And therefore, the owner of the land can reclaim
that access.
Yeah, you don't have to be hesitant. Omanyi omuntu gwe bayamba olumu twerabira nti batuyambyeko, abaavu olumu twerabira nti bakoze eki. So where the necessity no longer exists, please freely give in the land. And where you can
surrender the expiration,
you can agree to buy off the person. You understand? You can go to court. But why do you run to court for the land? Tell them, Council Prudence told me I have a right, I have an interest, that it is only you that is going to sold you land, but how you'll access it, I don't care. Now, why have you sold me land without an easement?
Imagine you have sold the land for sugarcane.
You have sold me land for sugarcane. You know that Chinyara is going to cut the sugarcane. Or Victoria Sugar. Victoria Sugar has to come and cut my sugarcane and take it to Luwero. And take it to Luwero. How are they going to transfer it to Luwero? Reasonable. Actually, all these things just rotate around us being reasonable. You understand? Us putting ourselves in the shoes of the person that you know that we are dealing with, and that on a normal day, you see, for us Christians, that situation, and you're like, Jesus. Okay, if I were Jesus, what would I do? You understand? So you act as a Christian for your neighbor.
And then I think this comes to, we're going to election time, where sometimes people politicize these kind of issues. And they escalate them, they become a bigger issue. And some other places, they even shed blood.
True.
This will sound a warning to whoever wants to use it as a political gap. Anything pertaining accessibility and permission. Unless if they fail, can bring a mediator. You get me?
No, someone can even say, you vote me into power. When you vote me, I am going to make for you an access route. But they are going to make for us an easement when we vote them into power. What were you waiting for before we vote you into power?
First do the easement.
Very good. Let your actions speak before you give us. Very good. First act for us to know that, okay, now that they have created for us an easement,
then
when we vote you, we can.
Oh, yes.
Nobody should deceive you. All you need to know is you have a right, because this is an interest in land that you have to explore. You understand?
Yes.
And just like we have told you, because it is your right, if this person refuses and yet it is really, really necessary that they create this easement for you, then you can even come to court. Yeah, you go to court. You find any lawyer to help you with the drafting of the documents, things like that, and then...
Are you a representative to court?
No. We do everything. You have to pay money, and we do for you what you cannot do for yourself.
Thank you very much, Elkem board members, for allowing and giving this an extra exclusive program to our viewers to learn for free. Honestly speaking, if they had invited me to a place, I would have asked for my allowances.
Sure.
But here with Elkem TV services, they are here to serve the community and the interests of the community. That's why we are here, but once again, to thank the Elkem TV staffs. We are so happy. My name is Ahomuza Emmanuel. I actually am associated with the Kira Legal Consultants in Kampala. You can access me in Masini Town or my contacts. So we deal in many things. I deal in real estate. I also deal in criminal law. It's most of my specification. So we are so happy. We are so delighted. Next week we are going to be here. We are going to discuss on a topic called condominium. It is a very unique component. And
I am going to give you a corridor out of my flat.
Okay.
And you also own. I even give you a title for another piece of land, for another part. You could even have the bathroom. My friend here, I am going to give him the bathroom. You have the title for the bathroom. You will have the title for the corridor. And I will have the title for the remaining part of the flat. Yes, but that is what we talk. But everybody must have control.
Yes, next week, keep tuned. On Monday from 4 to 5, we are going to have that very interesting, very interjecting component of land. This is a business transaction commercially in land, but few people know about it. So we want you to learn about it so that you also invest into condominium property. In here in Uganda, there are very few. In Kampala, you can just count them. In Masini, I don't think we have any.
We don't.
Yet people haven't known about it. These are the very good business whereby you can create a business and give people titles, and at the end of the day, you're making money, and you can terminate at will the owner of the land. This is a good thing about this business. So keep tuned. May God bless you. Happy New Year once again until we meet again.
Yes.